I often wonder what people believe life is like for families and communities outside of a jurisdictional war zone. I also wonder what people believe then happens to those communities and families once the war has been declared over. What is a restoration? What is a reclamation? And what is reunification?
Y'all see this? Timu. I'm gonna be in trouble just ordering. No, going well. I'm on the fixed income. I'm addicted. Oh my God, look at the first thing. My pearl necklace set. And this was like only $3 and something. Isn't it pretty? Look at that. Oh Lord, Timu, come on now. Y'all done see my broke earring. That's alright though. I love the necklace. I can always wear another pair of earrings with it. But that ain't bad for $3. You get the whole set. But like I said, I got some more pearl earrings, different type of pearl earrings I can wear with that. The girl is tired. Some more gloves. I went to my 8-month appointment, doctor's appointment today. Since my surgery, everything is, the x-rays doing good. Everything is still in place. The screws and everything are still in place and holding up. But I'm still experiencing a lot of pain in my neck, and I still can't. I can do my hands, but sometimes they still get locked. And I have trouble opening sometimes and cutting. That's why a lot of times when I do my veggies, when I order my veggies online, I have trouble opening sometimes and cutting. That's why a lot of times when I do my veggies, when I order some more gloves, I went to my 8-month appointment, doctor's appointment today. Since my surgery, everything is, the x-rays doing good. Everything is still in place. The screws and everything are still in place and holding up. But I'm still experiencing a lot of pain in my neck, and I still can't. I can do my hands, but sometimes they still get locked. And I have trouble opening sometimes and cutting. That's why a lot of times when I do my veggies, when I order my veggies online, my groceries, when I get them, I wash them the same day. I have a wash day and cut day. Because some days, like I said, my hands don't work good. And some days I just have to put it up and wait till a good day. Isn't that cute? I think this is like $1.85, y'all. This is so cute. Isn't this cute? I just gotta find some cute pink earrings to go with it. I'm trying to be sick. So I'm trying to be outside for a little bit, honey. Can't find no boot in the inside.
I gotcha. All right. So then my next question is, it's environmental and it's an assessment for resiliency, which in my interpretation means how do we preserve the natural ecosystem? Because that's how you live or how people live. You know, you want to make sure that the environment is healthy and safe. And that's my interpretation of environmental protection and environmental assessment. So when you say that the process involves collecting of soils, but you didn't mention any other types of sampling, and it's at Harbor Park, which is on the water, which is also an environmental area. Is that included in the remediation assessment? Not just the soil, but also the air and then the water. Is that also included?
Yeah, we did groundwater monitoring because it's over land. So you do groundwater monitoring and soil sampling and monitoring. And the groundwater monitors, they're in there for a couple of months, and then you check on them regularly during that period, and take those results back to the lab, and they tell you what the issues were. I think but we don't there's no we don't test the air, I guess you would say. It's not part of a requirement under the brownfields program to do air sampling.
Okay.
It's just the dirt. Yeah, it's the ground. Now if there are certain types of contaminations in the soil, like let's say there's a heavy petroleum presence, and when you dig that soil up, you may smell the odor of the petroleum, and that could make someone nauseous or sick or something like that. And so in those cases, it's sort of like in the field, you get a smell and you go, hang on, stop the work. We need to figure out what that is. Take precautionary measures, right? That's kind of how that works, is my understanding. But not as part of the brownfields program. There's not really a requirement to sample the air, so to speak.
And the gates are the dams.
It's a completely different type of program. It doesn't actually really address with flooding. What we'd want to make sure though is if it's flooding, which is kind of the cap. So like when you put soil on top of a bad soil, you're doing that to make sure it doesn't run away, it doesn't run off the ground, the dirty soil doesn't run back into the river. And so you can cap it, or you can haul it away, which is super expensive. And so that's kind of what sometimes they recommend you do that capping program to kind of create or prevent the erosion from runoff into the river. That's one sort of technique for it.
Is that method included in the draft plan, and is that something could I Google capping program and then get an understanding of how that works?
No, it's not like we have a capping program in the city. It's all site by site specific. So in Harbor Park, there were some soils that we did put a cap on, and then some that didn't need it. They didn't exceed any thresholds.
Well, what does that mean? I'm asking about how do you cap soil? Like, what is that?
You bring in like clean soil.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And you put it on top of the other soil.
Okay, gotcha.
Like several feet of it, so that it separates it from the parts somebody would walk on or interact with. Yeah.
Bless your heart. Okay. To me, though, is, especially in response to the answer you just gave, is that I think it's a mistake when you are looking at Vision 2100 to think in terms of people not being in their homes at that time. Because for a huge part of the population, land ownership is really important. And even though I won't be living in my house, I want to be able to pass my land on to my children, because that's a critical piece to wealth building. And I know poverty elimination is another big part of what the city is working to do relative to resilience. My question is more about how you all are moving forward with seeking funding for some of these projects. Lots of really great ideas. I love that you all are using the asset mapping to determine which priorities or what properties to make priority and which ones to preserve. But I'm concerned about whether we are mapping to determine which priorities or what properties to make priority and which ones to preserve.
I'm be in trouble this order. Nowhere. I'm on the fixed income. I'm addicted. Oh my God, look at the first thing. My pearl necklace set.
To get out here as much as we can, not overwhelming people with information they don't need to know, but making sure that they have a chance to have input on this stuff when things are changing in the project.
Norfolk was awarded a $112 million federal grant from the National Disaster Resilience Competition for the Ohio Creek Watershed Project, which will explore various landscape and hardscape options to reduce flooding and to connect the Chesterfield Heights and Grandy Village neighborhoods. How will the two communities connect? Through the multi-use open space and sports field called the Resilience Park, where residents can gather, play, and exercise.
What we're doing now is going to show up years ahead when, it's going to show up to let other people know what you can do in your community. Now, like I say, I've been in this community 50 years. I'm not going to be here forever. And the community is dying out as far as the seniors are concerned, and the young people are coming in. So if we could get them into the Civic League, we can keep our community going on and on.
We come to these meetings, they give us feedback, we take it back, we incorporate it, they come back to the meeting, tell us if we got it right. And I think from tonight you can see that they feel like they've been heard, that the project is expressing what they want out of it in terms of the amenities. And we've come a long way with the berm and how it will look and how it will feel. And I think it's just been a
Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. It turns out that wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning. This series is about the period called Reconstruction between 1865 and 1877, when families divided by slavery were reunited. There was tremendous African-American institution building, churches, schools. The freed people valued education and pursued it like their lives depended upon it.
The story of Reconstruction that's generally not known, it's not told, and when you don't know it, you don't understand America today.
Black men from 10 of the former Confederate states are given the right to vote, and they voted.
More than 1,500 black officials move into positions of public leadership. Then you see all of these black people in charge.
It was enormously transformative for a very short period of time. That tremendous transformation caused a tremendous backlash.
Just because Lee surrendered at Appomattox didn't mean the people in the South would surrender to Negro rule. They did not. Ku Klux Klan was born in 1865, 1866, and they used terrorism right away against black voters.
There's so many ways that the story of Reconstruction is foundational to understanding today's politics. The struggle for racial equality was a national crisis during Reconstruction, and for many people, it's a national crisis today.
We want to change the narrative of the history of race and race relations following the Civil War. We want to tell the truth in all of its complexity of America after the Civil War.
400 years have passed since America's original sin, and still, riots are ignited in the friction between race and justice. As this debate continues, the Smithsonian is completing a monumental project, the $500 million National Museum of African American History and Culture. The idea was authorized by an act of Congress, which called it, quote, a tribute to the Negro's contribution to the achievements of America. The words are jarring because the act was written in 1929. Building the museum has been a long struggle, just like the story it hopes to tell. Beside the monument to Washington, a slaveholding president, the museum is breaking free of the ground on the mall's last 5 acres. 8 decades after Congress framed a museum on paper and then failed to fund it, the dream is being written this time in steel and stone. 10 floors, 5 above ground, 5 below. Its complexion rendered in shades of bronze, a building of color against history's white marble.